bitch, get naked.
Boom, run that podcast. It's here. It's going. It's about 12 at night, 12 a.m., however you want to call that. UFC 219 is coming upon us. It's going to be a big, exciting card. Of course, I will not be drinking beers, having nachos, potato skins, shirt off or on, screaming at a TV or in a bar in some type of social setting. Of course, I will not be doing that, watching these fights. I will be at work at a Japanese restaurant, and I will be keeping up monitoring the results of each fight. But no, I will not be watching these fights because I suck and I have to slave away in a 9-to-5 job, aka all-day job. And I'm really upset about that because I do think, once again, this has potential to be the fight card of the year. I think the last two fight cards have probably been those are the best two. We tip our caps to the last two fight cards. We tip our caps to WME and Ari Gold and Dana White for coming up with those fight cards because those last two are really something. This third one could top it if we have a couple upsets. We could have big drama show or we could have some upsets going on. So I'm not sure if you guys are picking that up, but I got fucking people on Hollywood Boulevard revving, squealing tires and throwing bottles. I can hear it right outside my window, so that's a little distracting. I might just start screaming at them, start yelling obscenities and bottles of fucking soap. Some dirty old soap. I got a bunch of dirty old soap. Our landlord was just like, hey, I have some old soap. It's still good. You can have it. He runs a liquor store. I don't know. He got a bunch of shipment of extra soap. Tried to give me soap. I took it. Of course, it was free. I took it. I'm thinking about throwing it out the window at these people because they keep fucking screaming and it's super distracting when I'm trying to talk about fucking Octagon. I can't even scream at them because it'd be pointless. They won't even hear me. All right, let's get into this. UFC 219. It's going to be lit. Right from the jump, I love that they do this, the Fight Pass prelims. If you're a moderate fan of UFC and you kind of want to get more into it, man, do yourself a favor. Get UFC Fight Pass. And if you're like a big fan and you want to get more into it, if you're anybody, if you like fights, download UFC Fight Pass app on your TV, your smartphone, or whatever. It's so dope. You get all the fights. Not like all the fights. You don't just get all the fights. You actually don't get Fox fights, FS1s and stuff. That kind of sucks. But you have like the library of all the past events and like old school stuff, like some Strike Force events and like Pride events and whatnot. But they also, in each big card, they do it like an early Fight Pass prelim. I think this is going on at fucking like 3 p.m. You get a bout. Usually it's a couple bouts before the card starts, but this time it's only one. And it is a hell of a matchup. We got some dickhead named Mark De La Rosa. I don't even know if that's his first name. I'm just looking at his last name here. But whatever about old De La Rosa. My boy Tim Elliott, Awkward MMA. Give a shout out to that dude. He's so dope. He's fighting on this early prelims. He could fight on a FS1 headliner. Put him up against the right matchup. He recently just fought for the title against Mighty Mouse. Put up a hell of a fight. Put up one of the better fights anybody's had against Mighty Mouse. Tim Elliott should just smoke this kid. There's really no chance that De La Rosa is any kind of competition for Elliott. Elliott was supposed to fight on the last card, 218. Opponent pulled out like 2 weeks before the fight. They got like a new opponent. He pulled out like the day before, or he got sick or something during the weight cut, missed weight. Someone challenged him. They didn't step up. So this guy's been getting dicked on opponents, and so finally they gave him De La Rosa. So I'm assuming De La Rosa is not some legit dude that this was all set up for. I'm assuming De La Rosa was some punk that were just like, hey, De La Rosa, are you on weight? And he's like, yeah, I'm on fucking weight. Here, they're going to feed him. We're going to feed you to our boy Tim Elliott because he needs some money and he needs to fight. He's due. That being said, he's not just some mini bum. I mean, it's not me or my dickhead friends in there. This is a professional fighter. This is a cage fight. They are throwing shins and bones at each other, and he's probably done it before. So you got to think, as a betting man, okay, where's the advantage? Where's the matchup here? Like, do I bet on this? Well, like I said, I think Elliot is supposed to just eat this kid up. This is a feeding match. Like, here, Elliot, you're hungry. Here's your guy. Eat this boy. Again, they're professionals. And what I know about Mark De La Rosa, I lied. I know a little bit about Mark De La Rosa. He was a kickboxer before he got an MMA. So you gotta respect those, or you gotta have respect for someone who's a specialist, someone who grew up doing one thing. It's very dangerous. That's actually a big trend that's going on right now. There's some cats out there in Bellator, Gaston Bolanos. He's only had a couple MMA fights, but he's just gassing kids because he grew up a kickboxer and a Muay Thai fighter. This De La Rosa, he grew up a kickboxer, so, he's a specialist. So Elliot's got to mind his P's and Q's out there. But what makes this fight so hard to call and to bet on, I think Elliot is a minus 180 favorite, so you're going to have to put up $180 to see that 100 if he wins. But what's pretty fucked up is Tim Elliott is one of the coolest, like, weirdest styles. If you watch the Ultimate Fighter season a couple seasons ago, he was a very good personality on there. He's kind of a weird dude. He's a cool guy. Weird style. Very high volume. He's coming forward, always putting pressure. A little bit like Dominic Cruz with the weird footwork and the head movement and the shoulder rolling. He's very solid wrestler, and just a very strong overall MMA game. He recently wanted to take his stuff to the next level. He bought a house in Vegas, took his wife and his kid. They moved their family out to Vegas to train with Extreme Couture and train with that great trainer. God, I'm fucking up on his name. I think it's Paul or Holes. His name's Holes, his last name. And this guy just passed away. He just killed himself, maybe a couple weeks ago, a month ago, at the most. So here you got a guy who's probably approaching the end of his prime. He's in his prime right now. It's not, he does. I mean, we're talking about cage fighting here. He's not going to be playing for 100 years. This isn't Tom Brady. It's cage fighting, so he doesn't have too much longer. So he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy a big house, like a nice, comfortable spot for me and my family out there in Vegas. Vegas sucks, but I'm going to go out there to train with this trainer. Trainer tragically commits suicide. And Tim Elliott, and this isn't just me speculating, I wonder if it affects Tim Elliott. The only reason I know about this so much is because, and I'm factoring it into the bout, is because Tim Elliott was on camera saying, yeah, I don't know how this fight's going to go. Like, I'm telling you, someone you gotta look up this interview. I think MMA Fighting posted it, or Ariel Helwani posted it. He's not doing so well. It's his boy, his guy, his martial art master's trainer committed suicide. And he says it, quote unquote, he's like, yeah, I don't really like it here. I moved my family out here to be with him, and now he's gone. I don't really know what to do. It's like that same attitude. And you're like, damn, he doesn't sound like a very pure, in the zone martial artist right now. He looks like someone who's just faced a tragedy, cutting hella weight, about to get into a fight. That's what he sounds like. And then he says, I've never fought with emotion before. I always just go out there, I'm in my zone, and I'm having a blast. But I'm going to be fighting with emotion. I don't know how that's going to affect me. If it's going to be negative, if it's going to be too much for me to wear, if it's going to tire me out. So he's already, this isn't speculation, me saying, oh no, he could be tripping because his boy died. No, he's tripping. But is he a better mixed martial artist on December 30th than Mark De La Rosa? Well, fuck. I think so. I'm going to put my $180 down on it. I'm going to do it. And I think it's going to go down, man. He has a chance to still make some moves in that division. He could still become a dog. I think this fight is at 135. So yeah, he could become a dog in that division, get up there and get fights with Linkler and Jimmy Rivera and Bermudez, and find his way up to Dillashaw or No Love. But he's also has the opportunity to cut that weight, get down to 125, and he can go and try and get that rematch with the Mighty Mouse if he feels like. But he's got to get through this tragedy that he's facing. It's awful, but he's got to get through it like a great martial artist that he is, and he's got to whip old De La Rosa's ass. I got him. Let's go Tim Elliott, Awkward MMA. Kicking off the FS1 prelims is Luis Smolka versus some guy named Matthias. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Don't want to butcher it. I'm going to make this breakdown real short. Don't know anything about Matthias. Smolka. Very talented. He's a little bit of a shithead. Like, he talks shit, and he's kind of like, I don't really care. Like, so he missed weight, and, like, someone was, like, getting down on him. Like, yo, bro, you're hella unprofessional. You missed weight. Like, you're a bitch. And he was like, whatever, dude. He's kind of an asshole. And, like, I've met a Matthias before. I'm not saying this is the same guy at all. Like, this is not that. But I have met a Matthias or Mateus. I've met one of those dudes in a jiu-jitsu gym before. And he was a bad motherfucker. So I'm going to go with the upset pick and pick Matthias to beat Luis Smolka. That's the end of that breakdown. That one was quick. Fuck, I need some water. Oh, sweet. I just heard I can hear music going on outside. That must means the sketchy underground club that I live next door to is bumping. That's tight. They'll be going on until tomorrow. I get to just sleep next to an underground club that no one knows about. It's fucking tight. I'm hell into that. I think it's hella sweet that they just stay up and they just bump music till 3 in the afternoon the next day. I think it's hella dope that I'm their neighbor. Anyway, next on the Fox prelims, don't know how to say these dudes' names. We'll just call this dude Akhmedov from Russia, and the Italian Dreamboat, something Vittori. I don't know his first name. I'm not looking at it. I'll click on him. Click on the bastard. Oh, his name is Marvin. Marvin Vittori, the Italian Dream. It's actually his nickname. I'm not just crushing on the dude. His name is the Italian Dream, Marvin Vittori, versus Akhmedov. I'll be honest, I don't know too much jack shit about Akhmedov. He looks like a tough little mean bastard from Russia. I'm assuming he is a tough little mean bastard from Russia. But I do know Marvin Vittori. I've seen him fight before. I can't remember who the fuck he was. But he's nice. He's big. He's tall. Long reach. He's got a sweet-ass tattoo. He wears the green trunks. He's a cool dude. He's a striker. I know Akhmedov. He might train with Khabib Nurmagomedov. They might be boys. I might just be assuming that because they're Russian. They're both small little mean bastards. But Vittori is like a 300 favorite. He's a big favorite. I'm not going to put money on that because that's a lot of money to spot just to win one. And it's professional fighting. Who knows? This Akhmedov bastard could be mean as shit. He could take him down, just lay him, just hump him all day, and just win by points. Who knows? He could beat the shit out of him. Who knows? It's a crazy fight. But I'm gonna take Vittori. If you're watching these, if you're interested and you're like, oh, I'm gonna watch these fights tonight, maybe because Brandon said they're going to be cool. I'm telling you, this is gonna be a cool fight. Marvin Vittori, he swings them. He steps in that. I've seen him fight before. He steps in that pocket and he throws. And he's super athletic for a big old Italian dude. It looks cool, man. He's got a Muay Thai style. He's a kickboxer. I got Vittori over Akhmedov's little punk ass. Next up. This is a very interesting fight here. This is very interesting. Miles the Fury Jury versus Rick Glenn. Someone just asked me, do you want to tag John Tosetti in this video? If this is some fucking Facebook live algorithm shit that's asking me, do I want to tag people in it? I'm going to fucking lose it. I'm going to snap on Facebook right now. I will fucking flip. What kind of bullshit? No, I don't want to tag somebody in this video. This is a side video I'm making while I'm filming my podcast, talking about the damn fights that are about to go down. No, I do not want to tag John Tosetti, some dude I went to school with years ago. What the fuck? Get your algorithm right, Facebook. That is disgusting. I'm going to puke. What a ridiculous question that is. Do you want to tag this dude in your fucking podcast live version cam? Nuh-uh. He can come watch it if he wants. He can learn something, but I don't want to tag him. This ain't fucking freeze tag. What the fuck? Goodness, that pissed me right off. I think Chris D'Elia just got pissed about something like that. People asking to tag people or something. I was listening to his podcast. And he was bitching about something about tagging people. I get it. As I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted by the bullshit algorithms of Facebook, Miles the Fury Jury versus Rick Glenn. Cool fight. Couple solid names. Miles Jury and Rick Glenn. Couple of solid names. If I didn't know any better, I bet you both these dudes own shotguns and can shoot the shit out of them. Miles Jury and Rick Glenn. They're gonna go down. They're gonna go at it. Miles Jury, he came on the scene a while ago. He's 29 now, and he was He was on fire. He was knocking people out and beat up Talking Origomi. A lot of people beat up Talking Origomi, but he beat a lot of people up. He was doing his thing, and he kind of stopped being so active. Kind of started slowing down, and he got beat up by Donald Cerrone, and I think he took a short notice fight right after that and got slept. I don't know who that was against, but he lost 2 fights in a row a couple years ago, like a year or two ago. And then he took a big layoff. He took a break. He last fought earlier this year, and that was his only fight in the past 2-3 years. So he's had 1 fight in 2 years. He's won it. Rick Glenn's been fighting. Rick Glenn is 28 years old, so similar ages, but Rick Glenn has been a professional fighter in the UFC. Just started, and he's been winning. Dropped a couple fights earlier in his career, but he's with Team Alpha Male, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a homer and I'm from the Northern California area, and Team Alpha Male, of course, is in Sacramento. That gym is hot right now. They're on fire. I don't think necessarily they're on fire just because their teams have been winning and not their teams, but their fighters have been winning fights. So they're they got the hot hand right now. I don't even think I should be saying that. I think they're one of the best gyms in the world, and technically from a technical standpoint, they're better than most people. Therefore, their fighters beat the shit out of people. Josh Emmett, came over from World Series of Fighting, I believe, and his 3rd fight in the UFC was last week, 2 weeks ago, against Ricardo Lamas. It was a fill-in fight. Ricardo Lamas was supposed to fight Jose Aldo. Instead, Jose had to go do his thing against Holloway. Therefore, someone had to fill in for Aldo to fight Lamas. So they say, hey, can Emmett do it? Yeah, Emmett can do it. Emmett's from Team Alpha Male. He could do it. Emmett goes in. No one really knows who Emmett is. Emmett goes in there and sleeps him and beats the brakes off him. Didn't have a fucking chance, Lamas. That was his best way out, was that knockout. He got beat up, and he'd get beat up again. Emmett is better than him. Emmett's better than a lot of people. Just like that whole Team Alpha Male. They are better. It's not that they have the hot hand right now. They're better. So, when it comes to Miles Jury, he's had 1 fight in the past 2 years. Before that, he was kind of on a downslope. I wonder how much he's in it. I know if you train at Team Alpha Male, it's not I don't know, I kind of train. I'm a professional fighter, but I kind of want to retire. I know if you're one of those dogs, you're in it. You're in it. You're training with guys like Clay Guida, Darren Elkins. Jesus, Darren Elkins. That's all I have to say. I know Darren Elkins and Rick Glenn are training partners because they're the same weight class. They probably go at it. So, put your money on Glenn. I'm taking that. I didn't know these two were fighting on this card until I looked at it the other day. I'm for sure going to make $100 on that. I think it's an even. I think the spread's even. I think it's 115, 110 Glenn. Whatever. I'll put up the 115 to win $100 because I know Glenn's going to kick his ass. It's momentum. He's active. Team Alpha Male. Good ground game. We're talking about beatdowns here. Miles the Fury Jury. Hell of a nickname, but yes, it's grass come Saturday. Next up, Rontier Jr. and Olojewski. Don't know anything about them. Gonna skip it. And on to the main card we go. It's a lit card. I think the results of these fights are gonna have to determine how great of a card it's going to be because the names, they're there. They're there. Styles, they're there. Will the results be there? That's what I wonder. Because right now, the first one we got Carlos Condit versus Neil Magny. Style-wise, these dudes are dope. Two taller, skinny dudes who kick. They're a lot of Muay Thai. Obviously, they throw some spinning shit. But if both these pussies just sit on the outside and try and play point games with each other, because that's what it could be. They're both kind of similar styles, similar build. It could be a little needle dick point battle. It's only going to be a 3-round fight. I would hate to see it be that. I would hate to see Carlos Condit do some bullshit like that. It's interesting though. Carlos Condit, I've been seeing interviews with him, and like he'll say at the end of the video, "Yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in on this one." First of all, you shouldn't have to tell somebody you're all in on a fight. I'm assuming you're all in on a fight. But now that you said that, let's think about what you said before that. And he's talking about like other shit that he's been doing, like real estate, fucking medical sales. Motherfucker has you're talking about, if I heard it right, Carlos Condit has like 1 foot in. And he is older. He's an OG. He's been around forever. He's been fighting since he was goddamn 12 years old. Like, he literally has been fighting professional fist fights and shit, underground little MMA fights since he was 15. Telling people he was 18 so he can get in there and he can get in. Like, he's really been going at it. He's one of the real OGs of the sport. So I can understand that he's like, maybe thinking about retirement. And they say, man, if you're thinking about retirement in a sport like fighting, you're probably about to retire, and you probably should do that before you get kicked in the head. And then his last fight against Damian Maia, man, he got just worked like a fucking warm stick of butter and a hard dick. Like, he just got fucked in that fight. Like, and was it like a minute and 30 seconds? Takedown, pass, go in the half guard. I think he got choked out from like half guard. Dude didn't even mount him or take his back. He just Damian Maia kind of just grabbed his neck and just choked his ass. And I think, and like, no like hate on Condit for that. That's Damian Maia. That's the best jiu-jitsu guy that's ever competed in MMA. This is an OG. But I think that had a lot, honestly, I think that had a lot to do, like, hurt his confidence. Because he even said it. He was like, I don't know what to think right now. I don't know if after something like that, do you go back to the drawing board, or do you call it quits, or what do you do after a performance like that? In my mind, someone who's not a fighter and just watching this shit from the couch and shit, I'm just like, dude, it's all good. That fool Damian Maia is hella dope. Don't worry about that fool. Like, just mind your P's and Q's. If you ever see him out in public and shit, like, just don't fuck with that fool. Get the next guy, Go fight a boxer and kick him in the face. Like, do what you do. That's what I was thinking. But I'm obviously a guy who's been doing this shit for like 25 years, professionally for like 20 years. A loss, and you think, you have a certain, like, the way you see yourself, you probably see yourself a certain way and your skills a certain way, and then to just get knifed through like butter on the ground like that, that probably hurt his psyche a lot. And then with the fact that he's been doing it for so long, I think it's pretty safe to say that maybe Carlos Condit is 1 foot in the gym, 1 foot out of the gym. And I always think if you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, I'd probably not bet on you. I would probably not put any money on you. But, Neil Magny at the same time isn't the most scariest dude. He's not a fucking someone that's going to go in there, oh, you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, dude? Well, I'm all in. I'm going to eat you. He ain't that dude. Neil Magny just got trashed by Rafael dos Anjos. Just got trashed by him. I've seen him get trashed by Lorenz Larkin too. I like Neil Magny. I've won money on Neil Magny before. I think he's cool. I always got love for tall, skinny dudes. His little spinning kicks are kind of gay, but he's a cool dude. I was thinking this whole week, I was been like, oh, Neil Magny's got him because Condit's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and Neil Magny's nice. They have similar styles. I think because they have similar styles, that kind of hinders Magny a little bit because he does not have the same experience as Condit. So being that Condit has more experience, I think that the fact that they have similar styles helps Condit a little bit more. And if it does get into a little point battle or something, Condit's probably better at that. We seen him. He outpointed Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz was chasing him around in the ring. Fucking Condit was just staying on the outside like a little hoe, and he outpointed him. So we know Condit can outpoint people, but we also know that Condit is a G. He is a little badass was he from New Mexico, fighting his whole life, and we know he may be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. What if it is a point battle, and he starts to get frustrated, like, fuck, this is some bullshit point battle. I'm losing the point battle. Maybe he's losing the point battle to the younger man. And he has that 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and he just finally is like, you know what, fuck. And he's got the back against his wall. If you put straight up, for lack of a better words, a thug like Carlos Condit, the natural born killer like Carlos Condit, into a corner, maybe the dog comes out. Maybe that old dog comes out. And if that old dog comes out of Carlos Condit, I'd tell you, he'd beat the shit out of Neil Magny any day of the week. Any day of the week that Carlos Condit decides to be like, oh, I'm going to eat this man, I think Carlos Condit would eat him. The only reason I would hesitate to think that Magny could win is because, the similar styles, Magny's much younger, and I don't know if Condit's got 100% in to the fight. But if he is 100% in and he comes at this fool, Condit's about to eat this boy. It's about to be bad for him. I don't think Magny those little skinny chicken legs of his, they're going to can withstand some of these kicks that Condit throws. Condit's nasty with them kicks. So I'm not going to bet on it, although I am a betting man. I'm not personally going to bet on this, but if you did, and if you wanted to take my advice, folks, fuck it. Throw it on the gangster. I've been using that mantra lately when it comes to betting, and it's been working. I try to stay away from these things. Like, I try not to bet on things that I don't know for sure. But sometimes you fill out that parlay. And I usually say, which team or which player or which fighter has the most grit? Who's the most gangster? If it's a fucking tie game, who's going to step up and make that last cup, I bet you Condit would. So I'm putting money on Condit. Go for it. Water break. Game on. Next up, don't know how to say her first name. I think it's Cynthia or Kinty, or I don't fucking know. Cavillo is her last name. She's so dope. She's the next big thing in women's MMA. She's got purple fucking hair. She's kind of Mexican. She's from Northern California, like Team Alpha Male. This is it, folks. She's cool. I don't know how to say her name, though. I love her. Follow her on Instagram. I think she's cool as shit. Versus Carla Esperanza. Carla Esperanza was once champion before Joanna took reign. Carla Esperanza once wore like that fucking wrestler gear into an MMA fight. That's pretty hardcore. She's a straight like wrestler. Like, she really likes to wrestle. That's her shit. Wrestling. Cynthia Cavillo's gonna eat this chick up, man. She's gonna eat her up. And I got a little beef here with Brennan Schwab. Not because of, other things that I have beefs with Brennan Schwab, but because last night I'm watching the Big Brown breakdown with Brennan Schwab, and he starts saying, like, Cavillo, she hasn't that much experience. She's kind of been rushed onto the scene. We're seeing the UFC rush people on the scene a lot. And I agree that he's 100% right there. She hasn't fought a lot of people. But, she fought a few people, and she fought them very, very close. And then she took a fight on short notice, and she dogged the bitch. And she wasn't supposed to, and everybody was tripping on it. But she dogged the bitch on like 2 weeks' notice. She's also from Team Alpha Male. So when the hype comes in, I think it's for a reason. It's because she's good. And in this one, she's an attractive girl. She's got a little personality. She's from Team Alpha Male. She's a woman, and she's attractive, so camera's going to go there. They're going to try and get the camera there as much as they can. And that's why the hype's there. But if you're tripping off if the hype's for real or not, because you don't know if she's beat like big names yet, man, you know who she wrestles with, man? She wrestles with Uriah Faber. She fucking hits mitts with Justin Buchholz, all right? She grapples with Cody No Love. She runs fucking sprints with Clay Guida. Fucking throws the tire and fucking tosses kettlebells around with Darren Elkins. Rick Glenn. I don't want to fucking hear about, I don't really believe the hype of Cynthia Cavillo. Yeah, don't believe it, bro. Just sit back and watch. All right? It's your big ass. Sit back and watch. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my wallet on it. Just made like a couple $100 this week. Fucking motherfuckers shopping still, coming in the restaurant, buying a bunch of food, tipping my ass. I'm going to put it all on Cynthia. Don't believe the hype. Carlos, this is what pissed me off. Brendan Schwab was like, oh, I don't know. Carla Esparza is going to be the biggest name she's fought, and I don't know if she's ready for it. So if you're trying to make some money out there, folks, put your money on Esparza. That's why I'm mad. He's advising his own fans to put money on this bitch Esparza, who was dope 4 years ago. 4 years ago, Esparza was a hardcore wrestler. 4 years ago. Put that in your mind about physical, like how good you are in physical shape 4 years ago and now 4 years in the future. She's not the fucking same, folks. She's not as strong as she once was. That's what I'm trying to get at here. 4 years ago, if you're a badass just wrestler and in women's MMA, you can get down. Example A, Ronda Rousey. Fucking fast forward 4 years and you meet some young chick with an overall MMA game. What happens? Get your ass kicked. Amanda Nunes versus Ronda Rousey. It's the same thing that's about to happen to Esparza, man. Esparza, like 4 years ago, she was badass, and then she ran into Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And Joanna Jędrzejczyk put it on her. She's dousing her shit up on the feet, and then Esparza would go for a little wrestler takedown. And because Joanna's an overall mixed martial artist, she stuffed that shit, stand it back up. Cavilla's going to do the same damn thing. I bet you Cavilla takes it to the ground with her, too, and fucking mounts her and beats her ass and chokes her out. Cavillo by chokeout. Called it. There's one thing I'm for sure calling right now. Cavillo with the win. Cavillo with the chokeout. Fuck out of here, Brendan Schwab. I can't believe him. He advised his fans who pay him fucking money. Bet on Esparza. She's an underdog, folks. Cavillo, the big hype machine. Oh, she's young. She's hyped. She's a favorite, folks. She's gonna win. Brendan Schwab advising people to bet on Carla Esparza. She wore a damn wrestler fucking thing in a bout once. Not some sweet Reebok gear, some sweet fucking Venom or some Nike shit. Fucking wrestler, fucking Tracy High, fucking short, fucking. She's a goofball, man. Cavilla's gonna kick her ass. And Cavilla's sponsored by that Kobe Bryant sports drink called Body Armor. Esparza drinks water like a normal wrestler. Cavillo drinks Body Armor by Kobe, so stop. Don't want to hear it. Take Cavillo when you're 100. Next up on the bouts, after Cavillo sleeps Esparza via stranglehold, neck style, we got, I think his name Dan Hooker from fucking New Zealand. He's a fucking Kiwi from fucking New Zealand. Dan Hooker versus, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm gonna butcher it, and I guess I could find out how to like say his name. Just like fucking pull up YouTube, listen to Joe Rogan say his name, and that's how you say his name. I haven't even done that, but don't get the shit twisted. I've seen him fight. I know his shit. I got him to win. Mark Diakasi. He's from fucking England. Black dude from England with the red mohawk. He's filthy. There's another dude that looks just like him and has a very similar style. That's Kara Usman. That's what I thought this was for a second this week, and I was really excited. Big Kara Usman fan. That's not going down. Kara Usman is like in a bigger weight class. Daisaki is very explosive. I believe this. See, I might be getting confused with Usman here, but I believe Daisaki started off as a straight wrestler, like he was a hardcore wrestler, and he's been building his overall MMA game and his stand-up game, and it's like freakish because he's just sleeping fools, and everybody's like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking knockout artist, huh?" And they're like, "Nah, dude, he's a wrestler. He's just getting good at them hands," and everybody's getting scared, like, "Holy shit! Like this guy could be the future." He's a specialist, someone who specializes in wrestling, but now he's starting to get that overall game. If I'm thinking about the right dude, this could be Kara Usman I'm thinking of. But if I'm thinking of the right dude, I got Dasaki. I got Dasaki, if that's how you say his name. I got bruh. We'll just call him bruh. Bruh's gonna sleep hooker. Take bruh. I think bruh's the underdog too, or it's very even. Very even. I'm gonna go against Hooker, even though he has a cool name and he's from New Zealand. Interesting that fight actually got moved. That was on the prelims, and that one got moved up to the main event card. I wonder why. I don't know. Next up could be the fight of the night. Could be the fight of the night. Could be the performance of the night. Could be the finish of the night. Could be big drama show. It could be big drama show. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Edson Barbosa. These guys. Jesus. I mean, I follow fighting a lot, and like, I'm not a fighter or anything, so I don't really ever think of like, oh, that guy would kick my ass. I don't think like that because I don't fucking fight. I don't know anything about that. But like, there's some fighters that like, oh god, I just say their name or look at that picture and I just get hella scared instantly. Like, oh fuck, I hope I don't ever get to fight with that guy. Like, just like I instantly think that. Edson Barbosa is one of those dudes to me. Something about fucking leg kicks just scares the shit out of me. And my sweet fuck does Barbosa throw some kicks. God, he throws some kicks, man. If you want to watch some sick shit, type in Edson Barbosa's highlight reel. This will like soccer kicks people, knee people's. I've seen him literally jump out of a tree in the octagon. It was weird how they set it up. His corner like brought some tree in. He like jumped off the tree and like did like a triple backflip, and he fucking elbowed the dude with the back of his elbow. He does crazy stuff in this octagon. Very creative, very technical though, and very fast and explosive. He's got the power to go with it. I don't know how old he is. I don't think he's that old. He's definitely in his prime. Or he's approaching his prime. But he's facing Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is definitely the hardest core wrestler in MMA today. The fucking kid grows up wrestling bears. If you don't believe me, you think I'm joking because I joke a lot, look it up yourself. It's true. His training partner as a child was bears. They used to chain them up and be like, okay, Khabib, go. And he would fucking scrap with the bear, little baby bear. Stupid. But he obviously it worked. He's 24-0. Back in Strikeforce, he ragdolled Rafael dos Anjos. And his training partners now, I'm sure he's got a bunch of different training partners, but I know like he's in the same gym, and I'm sure they have little grapples. At least they wrestle with each other for show. Luke Rockhold, Daniel Cormier, and Cain Velasquez. So Luke Rockhold is one of the doggest, especially grappling-wise, in the 185 division. Daniel Cormier is for sure the best wrestler in the 205 division. And a healthy Cain Velasquez is probably for sure the best wrestler in the heavyweight division. So you're going to tell me that their little homie Khabib is like in the 155 and he's 24-0? And all he does is pick people up and slam them? That's Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's also from Dagestan. Dagestan. I don't know how to say this motherfucker's country's name, dude. I don't know how to say this fool's hood. I don't give a shit either. I'm from fucking Tracy, and I don't know nothing about no Dagestan. But what I've heard is that everyone there is pissed off, and that they fucking eat glass for breakfast and shit. That they're just always pissed. That like, I heard like Khabib had a choice to make when he was like 4 years old. It's like, all right, here, kid. They like put a pack of cigarettes in like the punch-in card to the old steel mill. Like, here you go, kid. You can start working at the steel mill. You're 4 years old now. You can start working at the steel mill, start smoking your smokes, and just fucking live your shitty life in Russia. Or you can get in that backyard and go wrestle in bears, and we're going to get you in that octagon eventually. He chose that. It's been working out for him well. He's a hardcore dude. About as hardcore as he gets. But, is he actually a 155-pound fighter? Because I know the bout's scheduled at 155 pounds. A lot of evidence says that he's not. A lot of evidence out there and actual circumstances that has happened in the past say that he's not even close to a 155-pound fighter, and that him cutting that much weight fucks his shit up. Fucking last time he tried to fight, he ended up in the hospital because his weight cut was bad. Inches away from death, they say. They say he saw the light. That it was the old memories of those wrestling those bear cubs that brought him back. I think if you cut that much weight and you're that dehydrated and you actually make it in, gosh, you better hope you just flatten dude. Or you just pick dude up and fuck him up right from the start. I wonder if this is a 3-round or a 5-round fight. I bet you it's a 3-round. If it's a 3-round fight, he probably has this. What I'm saying is, if you're that dehydrated, if you're cutting so much weight that you're very close to death. How long is your gas tank? I know you're good. You're probably gonna take the dude down a couple times, maybe for a whole round or two. But if this is a 5-round fight, can you make it to rounds 4 and 5? If you're sucking air like that. I was watching the interviews today. He looks like absolute shit. And he's talking like shit too. They're like, so how's your weight? And he's like, oh, my weight is perfect. He sounded like such bullshit. He literally could have had a sign on his head that's like, I'm fucking about to die. I'm lying right now. That's his face was just like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't feel sick. Why? Did you ask me if I feel sick? I don't. I don't feel sick. Why? Do I look sick? Like, he's clearly fucking lying when he says, oh, I'm fine. He sucks right now. His body's shit. He feels like shit. And he might not be on weight. I do have inside source that said that he might be a pound under already. Complete trash. That's bullshit. He still has like 20. He still has until what, like, I think like 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock is when they cut off the weight cuts. Tomorrow is the weigh-ins. Is when they have to weigh in. He still has got a good amount of time to lose weight. He's still cutting weight. Guaranteed his fat ass is still having to shed pounds. They say Khabib Nurmagomedov walks around 205. And then that throughout camp, he sheds down and eventually gets to 155. Every fighter who has a weight cutting problem or something like that, and like something happens where they don't make the weight or they miss the fight or they get sick or something or they almost die in a hospital, every fucking time they say, the next fight they say, oh no, he's got a new nutritionist now. He's got a new guy. They said that the last time Khabib had a fucking fight. You know, he's got a new nutritionist. It's all good. He's got it under control. He almost died. Where was your nutritionist? He's out there eating? What's he doing? Eating all the food for Khabib? Obviously not. Khabib's in the hospital, bro. Like, do your job. But apparently, this time around, Khabib's got a new dude. We'll see how it works. Johnny Hendricks had a new dude, too. He's had a few. So, in the end, you have Khabib Nurmagomedov, best wrestler in the division. You have Edson Barboza, the fastest, most explosive, and diverse and creative striker in the division. Barboza, I've also seen him like a couple times, like someone shoots for a lazy takedown. Daniel Barnouche, you can look it up. Daniel Barnouche versus Edson Barboza. And he'll fucking jump up and kick, like sleep you with his shin. Like he does, he's like got these little knees, quick feet. Like if you go for that takedown, he will jump up and knee you. I could see that going down, man. Obviously, Brandon Schwab, he picked Khabib. I don't have any beef with that. If anybody picks Khabib, it's probably the safe bet. Khabib's the big favorite. Barbosa's the plus 260 underdog. That's why I like this pick as a value pick, betting on Khabib. I also like it more than a value pick. And here's why. We know Khabib is. I don't give a fuck about his new nutritionist. He's cutting 30. He cut 30 pounds this last 2 weeks. 15 to 20 these last 3 or 4 days. You're not your best athlete. All right? You're not. He's going to be super dehydrated when he gets in there. I mean, if he rises through and he fights through it like the wrestler that he is, yeah, he probably will. But I know your athleticism is compromised a little bit. And I also know Barboza ain't fucking cutting this much weight. Let's look for Barboza to be in his athletic prime, in his athletic peak. Let's look for Nurmagomedov to possibly be on the verge of death, cutting goddamn 100 pounds the night before a fight. Fucking Gabe Rudiger status. I wish I fucking was a normal fight fan and knew if this was a 5-round fight or a 4-round fight. I mean, a 3-round fight. Because that has a huge deal to it. That's fucking stupid that I don't know what's going down. I'm assuming it's a 3-round fight because it's not the main event. And it's not a title fight. It's not a co-main event. These motherfuckers, this is a 3-round fight. So this is interesting. I was walking around all week thinking this was a 5-round fight like a jackass. And I was thinking, 5 rounds, let's look for Khabib to go out there and avoid the strikes, avoid getting rocked, and then like go have a couple takedowns, have success on the ground, probably fuck him up a little bit. But then Barboza in that 3rd round to start to get up from the takedown, to start to find the fence, work his way up along the fence. And then eventually in that 4th and that 5th round, because of that big drastic weight cut and the fact that Barboza didn't quit, Barboza is the highest level competitor that Khabib's ever faced. And he is in his prime, and he does want that belt, and he does have the capability to win it. That Barboza doesn't quit, and he finds his way up from the fence. And now Khabib is gassed the fuck out. It's the 4th round. It's the 5th round. Khabib goes for a lazy takedown, and Barboza jumps up with those fucking twinkle toes and knees him into next year, which is only like 4 or 5 days away. But that's fucking big time. That's a long time to be knocked out. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that's how it was going to go down. Because the weight cut and the 5 rounds, I just was going to be too much for Khabib. And then eventually Barboza would sleep his A. But now that I know that's only a 3-round fight, I hate Khabib. I think he's a little punk. There's videos of him getting into a fight, Nate Diaz kicking his ass in a casino. I'm still going to pick against him. Fuck Khabib, knock our men off, dude. Let's go with Edson Barboza. And I had a little evidence for that. I got a little backup for that too. Even though it's not a 5-round fight, it's a 3-round fight. The last time Khabib fought was against Michael Johnson, who is I don't give a fuck what you say about Michael Johnson. He's nowhere near the level of talent or work ethic or level of mixed martial artists as Edson Barboza. I'm sorry. He's really good, whatever. Kick my ass. Edson Barboza is way better than Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, in that 1st round, he tagged Khabib. He was moving around. He was jabbing, and then he tagged him, and he was rocked for a little bit. Johnson wasn't able to finish, and after Khabib rose through it like the badass that he was, Khabib took his ass down and beat him down. If Barboza stuns Khabib, I bet you Barboza has the ability to finish it from there, to whereas Michael Johnson did not. And the way I watched that fight with Michael Johnson, he wasn't like some crazy. It wasn't. Khabib really don't got shit with them hands, man. Like compared to fucking these guys, compared to me and fucking the dickheads I live with, yeah. But yeah, compared to 99% of the world, Khabib's got some hands. But compared to Edson Barboza, he really ain't got shit for him. Or Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, it wasn't even like something crazy cool is what I'm trying to say. Like it wasn't some sweet ass. It wasn't like a lucky shot either. It was just kind of a normal little 1-2. He just caught him with a little fade and bow. Just dropped it on his chin, and then Khabib was on Queer Street. He was stumbling around that octagon. But he got through it. He was able to grapple, sober up, find his way back, and he won the fight. I think if Barboza catches him, it's going to be with some sick shit. It ain't going to be with a 1-2. And if it is, shit, here comes that spinning wheel kick. Ask like a hardcore MMA fan, be like, hey, yo, what's like one of the scariest fucked up knockouts of all time? They're going to say Edson Barboza versus Terry Edom. Terry Edom walks retarded now. He was right-handed, now he's left-handed. Doesn't know how to taste, can't count anymore. I don't think he ever could read, but he definitely can't read anymore. And he's actually like fucking slow now. He's he's retarded now. I'm not joking. Edson Barbosa kicked Terry Edom's ass so bad, he's retarded now. It was a spinning wheel kick. Look it up. Edson Barbosa's flashy, he's freaky. And Nurmagomedov is not nice with the hands. Obviously, he's the greatest wrestler in this division, one of the best of all time, but the 30-pound weight cut, crazy, flashy, spinning shit guy. I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Edson Barbosa, and you should too, because Khabib's a punk. Bum, bum, bum. Next up, the final bout of the card, the main event. Goodness gracious, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for it. I thought I wasn't, but now I am. And when I say I wasn't like a while ago, but like now I am. Fucking now I am. This is going to be insane. Holly Holm versus Cyborg. Cyborg. Man. Where do I start with this? Obviously, we'll start with Cyborg. Cyborg. Definitely the most physically and probably technically most intimidating female fighter of all time. She's gigantic. Black belt in jiu-jitsu. Competes in tournaments. In gi tournaments. ADCC. I feel like she's competed in that one a few times I've heard of. I know her training partner is Gabby Garcia. Gabby Garcia competes in ADCC for show. She's also fucking sick with the hands. There's videos on her YouTube boxing with a USA boxer. One of the best USA boxers. I forgot her name, but she's dope as hell. Going toes with her. She definitely has the physical tools to be called the greatest women's fighter of all time. She's been plagued her whole career by a number of things. If you watch The Fighter and the Kid or the Big Brown Breakdown, there's an episode with her and one of her coaches. They come on there and they tell their story, and it's a very great story. Keep it real. I fell asleep. I was watching a little late. I was tired, and I had a little weed to smoke, so I smoked it and I fell asleep. But I heard she has a really cool, interesting story, and she's a fucking sweetheart, and she's really fucking cool. But from an athletic standpoint, she has been hindered her whole career because of how goddamn big she is. It's hard to find someone. I mean, there's no women's 107. There's no women's welterweight division. So her whole career, she's had to like gut herself and cut down to like 140 pounds and 135 pounds and shit. The 135 pounds, there's a documentary on her cutting weight to get down to 135, and it's fucking gross. It's bad. It's real bad. It's probably what worse than just around. It's probably what Khabib's doing right now. It's fucked. It's really upsetting. Like that. It's so upsetting that we have these fighters. They're professional athletes who, we idolize guys like LeBron James or Tom Brady, Michael Jordan. We look at those guys of like pure, can do no wrong, like the greatest. They're like fucking gods to us. But Holly Holm, this little blonde girl I'm looking at on my screen, would beat the dog shit out of LeBron James. And if you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. Like Holly Holm's like, she's not a jiu-jitsu expert, but she is like a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. She'd ankle pick his big ass and take him to the ground, choke him, like kick him in his leg. He'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And she'd tackle him, take him to the ground, choke him. Like the dopest athlete you think of would get their ass beat in a physical fight with anybody on this card I'm looking at. Tim Elliott's 135 pounds, and he would smoke LeBron James in a fist fight. I don't know where I was going with this, but we got to start giving these people a little bit more respect. Back to this great fight. Cyborg. That's what I'm about to say. The weight cut. It's disgusting that we have these people. We idolize LeBron James and all these people, but at the end of the day, these fighters would kick their ass in a real fight, like in a real competition. No fucking like I love sports, any sport, but like not no silly game, not no silly fucking game, like an actual competition, mano y mano. These people would win. We pay to see it. Why the fuck do they compromise their body so much the day before they're about to compete? Like, I get it. Like, we make them do it. Like like the way their sport is set up, there's weight classes, so they have to do it. If someone naturally walks around at like 180 pounds, they're not going to go fight at 180 pounds because there's some 250, 210-pound gargantuan out there who's shedding weight to get down to 180. So the night of the fight, he blows back up, and he's way bigger than everybody else. So the 180-pound dude, he cuts down to 155. It's just like naturally the way the sport works. We got to change that because these people are such great athletes. We're talking about a female athlete who can beat the dog shit out of LeBron James in a fist fight. Why on the night of her competition is she getting the night before? Is she cutting like 12 pounds of sweat the day before a fight? Why is she so dehydrated before she goes and competes in a combat sport at its highest level? That ain't cool. One, that's definitely not safe. There's no way your brain could be like hella dehydrated and you could be getting kicked and punched. That shit ain't cool. I know that. I'm no fucking doctor, but that's stupid. Two, like, man, as a fan and as as someone, I'm not calling myself a purist, but someone who likes martial arts like a motherfucker. I want to see them compete when their bodies are right. I want to see the best versus the best, not like the best versus the best when they're both compromised. Fucking, that's stupid. Like, you're telling me to see Holly Holm or Chris Cyborg at her best, I got to go show up to her training camp and watch her spar because that's when she's at her physical peak. Because the night of the fight, she's going to be feeling like dog shit because she just lost 30 pounds that week. That's so dumb. That irritates me that these fighters have to go through that to like keep an even playing field. And Chris Cyborg, she's had to do that just to get just to get some money. She has to shed 50 pounds just to get a fucking fight. One, because there ain't no goddamn 180-pound girls that can do MMA walking around. Also, it's been hard to have her fighting fights because she's so damn good. I mean, she's bigger, faster, stronger than everybody. She's also more technical than everybody. So I feel like earlier in her career, when MMA was just coming around, especially women's MMA, when you had the Carla Esperanzas, who's just a fucking wrestler, and someone maybe who's just a boxer, and they're just trying to do something different. I think a lot of these girls were like, yeah, not fighting Chris Cyborg. That sounds like a bad idea for me. I'm gonna make a business decision and not do that. I think she had a lot of trouble finding fights because of that, because of how badass she was, and because of how much weight she had to cut. Now, there's finally a 145-pound division. That weight cut's still a motherfucker for her to make. And as dope as she is, that weight cut does take a toll on you. I know it does. There's no way that's good for you. And she's fighting Holly Holm, who's had, over 20? I'll know for sure she's had over 20 kickboxing fights. I know for sure she's had over 20 boxing fights. I know for sure she's had over 12 goddamn MMA fights. Very experienced cat. Who's already shocked the world once. Definitely has the fight IQ. The game plan, she comes from a very game planny, very experienced training camp in Greg Jackson and Mike Winklevon's gym. I think Holly Holm can do it. I would know she can do it. I think she's gonna do it. I can see Holly Holm surviving because it's gonna be a little bit more fast paced than I think too. I'm in my mind, I'm seeing Holly Holm like outpointing her, and just like staying on the outside, using her game planning, using her very technical striking because she's fucking dope at striking too. Stay on the outside, the leg kicks, the push kicks, jab, and then that's how she wins, just outpointing her. I could see that, but I think Chris Cyborg's likes to box. I think she likes to get in there close and likes to use her get in her rhythm, and she likes to throw them. I know she ain't scared. So I think this fight is going to be a little more fast-paced than I'm imagining it. It could be a little bit wild. But, man, Holly Holm's definitely fast enough and athletic enough to keep up with it. Just keep backpedaling, keep moving side to side, keep her distance, keep moving, and then those times when she has to bite down on her mouthpiece and throw them, I think she can throw them with Cyborg, and I think she's tough enough. Definitely has the stamina, definitely that type of athlete enough to stay in there for 3 or 4 rounds, and then maybe it gets to that 4th or 5th round, and Cyborg's been trying to grapple, and maybe she went for a couple takedowns because Cyborg is great on the ground where Holly's home is. That is her weakness. Maybe, she gets back up, and then that 4th and 5th round, Cyborg's gassed because of that shitty weight cut. It's such a big deal. Comes into that 4th or 5th round, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta win this fight, and motherfucking kicks are flying at me. You're dehydrated. Maybe the hands drop a little bit. And Holly Holm catches her with one of them head kicks again that she caught old Ronda with. I got Holly Holm. I think she's also like a plus 300 underdog, so $100 will win you 3. I think I'm gonna go for it. Just for the fact that it's gonna be like New Year's Eve. It's gonna be fucking crazy. It's the 30th, and it's just such a crazy idea. Just Holly Holm shocking the world again. Fuck it, throw $100 on that. So I think I'm gonna do that, just for the fuck of it. But also, man, Cyborg, as dope as she is, I think. And again, I'm not a fighter, so these are all really I thinks. These are really just thoughts here. But I wonder if you're a fighter, you're fighting and stuff, like how much you need to like get hit, how much you need to fight, like how much you need to. I'm not saying she doesn't train and shit. I'm just saying she's kind of smoked everyone she's fought, and they weren't that good. And then like she fought her last fight, Tanya Evinger. Fuck off, Tanya Evinger is like hella old. She's not that dope. I talk a lot of hype about like anybody in the UFC can kick anybody's ass. I'd beat Tanya Avenger's old ass, dude. She had no business being in there with Cyborg. And Cyborg kicked her ass at the end of the fight, but like she didn't fuck her up. Like, and she was trying to do her little point battle. Like she's trying to just really, you could tell she's trying to work on her moves a little bit. It wasn't that crisp. Holly Holm looks way crisper. Obviously not as big and as intimidating, as fast and as strong, as violent, but she's way crisper. If Holly Holm can try and make this a very point battle and just who's crisper, who's on the outside hitting those kicks and pressing those dumbass judges, man, I could see Holly Holm upsetting the world. I could see her getting it done that way through the points. I could see Cyborg getting a little tired, and then eventually Holly Holm's putting that fucking kick on her. I can also see Cyborg just rushing her and just, you hit that jaw hard enough and fucking go down. I can see her taking her down, strangling old Holly like Miesha Tate did. It's a very big possibility because Cyborg's black belt. But something about the fact that Holly Holm, damn near every fight she's in is a battle. She's fought so many times. And that Cyborg hasn't been in too many wars that she's either just stomped the person or kind of just fucked him up and it wasn't too big a deal. I'm going to go with Holly Holm. I think Cyborg will be like a little surprised or something that she's not just fucking this girl up or something. And then like by that 4th round, she's tired because of the weight cut and because it's a damn good little fight. She starts to get worried like, oh shit, am I behind on points? This girl's just running away from me. She's just backpedaling and juking me out and throwing those little bullshit leg kicks. This is what's going to happen. That's definitely probably part of her game plan is run around and throw leg kicks. So what if she starts to get flustered, Cyborg does, and gets all worried, starts, fuck it, I gotta rush in, I gotta end this fight, I'm getting tired, oh shit, the weight cut, it's affecting me, I need to end this fight before I get too tired to do anything. Oh my god, she might be winning, I need to do this now. She runs in, she gets sidestepped, pah, Holly Holm sleeps her, just like she did against Ronda. I think it's the same recipe. It's the same recipe as how she beat Ronda. Except She's got to make Cyborg fight like that. Ronda, that's how Ronda fought. Holly Holm and her coaches are probably smiling and laughing the whole time. She's like, yo, she's about to just run at you. Just fucking just move around, get her ass tired. She's going to be tired from chasing you, and then kick her shit in the face. Cyborg is not going to just sign up to do that. Holly Holm's going to have to survive. She's going to have to make it a fight. It's going to have to get a little greasy for her. She's going to have to take risk. But I think if she does take risk and eventually it gets down to those last rounds, man, Cyborg that way, because she can get tired and those hands could drop and Holly Holm could shin kick her shit. I got Holly Holm upsetting the world at UFC 219, the last card of the year. Call Alex Jones. The intergalactic child molesters are here. I'm getting pissed off. I want this fight card to start now. I'm going to call out of work so I can watch it. This is going to be fucking lit. If these fights go down, like I said, if they perform, if Condit and Magny say fuck the point bullshit, we're both skinny dudes, let's throw down and bang, lit. Cavillo, she's going to stomp her. Lit. Hooker versus Daisaki could be a very violent fight. Both those blokes like to throw them. They're both from the UK. England and New Zealand. Therefore, they're going to fucking throw them. Khabib versus Barboza. We could see Barboza really finishing with some fucking really highlight level shit here. Then on the other cards, right, we have Vertoli. He throws him. Glenn's going to beat up Jury. Elliott's going to beat up De La Rosa. And I'm not saying like, oh, they're for sure going to win. I'm saying like, even if Tim Elliott loses versus De La Rosa, he's going to throw some punches at him. He's going to beat him up. He's going to kick him. It's going to be a violent fight. Same with Jury versus Glenn. Even if Jury beats Glenn, I guarantee you, like, there's going to be blood. Like, they're going to be throwing them at each other. This is going to be a very exciting card if it pans out. But I like all these matchups. End of the day, Edson Barboza has a chance to make a highlight reel knockout for the ages and beat the great Russian bear, Khabib Nurmagomedov. And Holly Holm has a chance to shock the world. Let's see it. And that's it, folks. That's all I got for you. Till next time, I'm Brandon Sloan. This has been UFC 219 Breakdown. Run That Podcast, Episode 7. Check me out on Instagram, Run That Podcast. Brandon Sloan Wins. Check me out on Twitter, Sloan Wins, and Run That Podcast. Holla. Boom. I'm out.
Run that podcast, get your ass up. Run that podcast, get your ass up. Run that podcast, get your ass up. Run that podcast.
Run that shit, bitch. Get naked.